As you all are aware, we had a sexual assault that happens on August the 13th, shortly about 3 a.m. in the morning. We know that the victim was picked up by what we believe now was not an Uber driver. We believe there was somebody posing to be an Uber driver, pulled up to the location, and just by luck and happenstance, she got into the wrong vehicle. It was not an Uber driver that we have confirmed at this time. The vehicle, as we know, proceeded to the area of Chastain Park. On the video, there is a vehicle, silver sedan. Directly after he drops her out of the vehicle, pushes her out of the vehicle after the assault, it travels along West Waiuku, and we was able to catch it on camera. We at this time is also releasing a sketch of what we believe is the suspect. We know that the suspect spoke Spanish the whole time he was communicating with the victim. We do know it's a Latino male, and that she believed that at the time she got in the vehicle it was an Uber driver, but now we have not been able to prove that is the case. Any questions?
So he was actively pretending to be an Uber driver, you believe? Like, in other words, she had requested an Uber, he saw a young woman waiting for a ride outside of a bar, and you're assuming that maybe he just thought, I'll say I'm an Uber driver and get her in the car?
Right, so here's what we believe the practice is, that they stage vehicles in areas that they know people are going to need transportation immediately after they leave the establishment. Cabs do it all the time, so he just generally picked up on that methodology and pulled up, and just so happened by luck she got into the wrong vehicle. We believe that he did pose himself as being a driver to take her to whatever destination she wanted to go to. But we have not confirmed under any circumstance that it was the Uber driver.
Was she originally intending to go toward Chastain Park, or is that where he went on his own with her in the vehicle?
We believe that that is his destination.
That's where he went, okay.
Any other questions?
Reiterate whatever you can on the original story in terms of what the female has described with regard to what he did once he got to that location. Was she harmed? Would you reiterate what happened to her?
Well, without going into details, we just simply know that she was sexually assaulted and that the acts were against her will, committed by a person she did not know. We're actively looking for this person because we want to aggressively prosecute this case, and these leads that we have today, we believe will further our investigation.
I imagine that you guys obviously want to get this guy off the streets, because if he's pretending to be an Uber driver, she's possibly not the first and or the last person he might be trying to pick up.
Most importantly, we do believe that. We do believe that this would not be an isolated incident of somebody posing to be an Uber driver. And that's something we are planning to address in the next couple of days with another release of some information.
From the law enforcement side, what would you say to young women and or men who, go out, whether it be on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, prior to getting into a vehicle that they may believe is an Uber, especially if you've had a couple of drinks?
Right, we're going to be releasing something in the next couple of days, but what I would suggest at this point, verify that it is an Uber driver. We know that Uber traditionally sends pictures and identifies the vehicle or the person that's going to be picking you up. They'll identify that person by name. So that gives you an opportunity to verify that you're getting into the right vehicle. In the next couple of days or so, we're going to release something to be more poignant to that fact of how you can protect yourself in those regards.
Are you guys setting up patrols in areas where people frequent bars on the weekends in hopes of trying to find this guy?
Generally, we move into areas where we have crimes that we really need to concentrate on. But just think about this. People all over the metropolitan areas taking Uber drivers. And police officers can't be everywhere all the time. So it's very important that you take an opportunity to verify that, number one, that it is the correct service, this is an Uber driver, and before you get into that vehicle.
Anything aside from the fact that he was Latino and Spanish speaking that was distinctive about this gentleman, whether it was a tattoo, a scar, or anything the victim may have given you guys as far as catching this person?
No, I think the victim did an accurate job in depicting this person to the sketch artist, We think that the sketch would be very helpful in identifying the subject. So we will ask that anybody that recognize this person in the sketch call Crime Stoppers, and that would be very helpful.
I know the cases are not at all related, but around the same time at Chastain Park, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, there were 2 other women who were attacked. And there were some concerns that pockets of the Chastain Park, some of the lights were out, and if a crime were to be committed, there are areas where people might not see it. Are police stepping up any patrols in that area? Is Chastain Park a concern, hotspot for illicit activity?
Right, I wouldn't categorize it as a hot spot, but we look at crime daily. We look at crime daily for a number of reasons. One, it helps us put our resources in the right area. So we have moved incredible amounts of resources to the Chastain area, as well as reach out to our partners, Georgia Power, our VIC unit. This video did not come from one of our systems, but it came from one of our partner systems. So everybody plays an active role in trying to make sure this part of our community is safe. But to be more pointed, answer to your question, yes, we have moved considerable resources up in that area. We have directed our officers to make directed patrols. We have units working overtime in that area, as well as our mounted and also our motorcycle patrols have begun to increase patrols in that area.
Did this guy show or threaten that he had a weapon?
There was no indication that he had a weapon. From what we know and been able to determine, that this was an act committed by force.
Can you, I'm sorry, go over one more time, just for, young women and or men who are watching this story about the importance of verifying that it is an Uber driver prior to getting in, and how they do so? I mean, I know that there is an app, but obviously she thought at the time that he was.
Right, so we would stress that if you're using that service, that number one, you verify by photograph that you're getting in the right picture, that you're getting in the right vehicle, also by photograph that the right person is picking you up. Uber particularly identifies a person by name, and that might be helpful to you. Anytime that you feel like this might not be the right vehicle, then you simply have a will to just walk away and not get in that vehicle and wait for another vehicle or call another service.
From the investigation standpoint, from August 13th until now, when did you guys realize that it was not an Uber driver?
Our investigation began to lead us there early on, but we're still trying to confirm certain aspects of the investigation. But I can say that at this point, we do not believe that Uber was involved in this incident in any way.
Any other cases that you have where this suspect fits the description?
No, this is the only.
And he left her at the park after the attack, drove off, and that's what the video is, as him driving off.
Right, so as you see the vehicle traveling down the roadway, prior to it beginning that motion, he pushes her out of the vehicle onto the ground, and he immediately drives off.
Can you tell us what kind of vehicle you believe that is?
Hey, can you run it, please?
I have looked at the video several times, but I haven't been able to determine what type of vehicle it is. We do believe that it is a silver sedan of some sort.
Four-door?
Four-door sedan.
She's not identifiable in the video, correct? I just want to be very careful about that.
She's not identifiable.
You mentioned she's thrown out of the vehicle. I don't-
She's already gone, I think.
She's
when
already
they
thrown
got
out.
this.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's already gone.
My apologies.
All right?
Can we like
Play it again.
replay?
Yeah. Can you put it on loop, Stan?
Just about to play that.
No, let's not play that. I thought he said it.
No, just for clarity, Adam, I was simply saying that we know that before the vehicle proceeds, the motion that is in, that she had just got pushed out of the vehicle.
Yeah, one more thing since we're like,
Do you have an approximate age that you think this guy might be?
We do not.
And so he spoke no English whatsoever to her. And did she speak Spanish?
I mean, that's what I'm wondering, yeah.
Her interview, she expressed that he spoke in Spanish.
And did she understand any of the Spanish?
That I can't say.
This is on West Wayuka?
Yes, West Wayuka. We believe it's West Wayuka.
So, tell us what she explained happened.
I'd rather not go into the details of that. She was able to express that she was sexually assaulted.
She got into this car, where was she coming from, and what kind of car did she think it was?
She got into the vehicle after her friends had called her an Uber ride to transport her home. The vehicle pulled up to the establishment. She got in the vehicle. Whatever conversation transpired between that time, we're not certain. But we know that the vehicle went directly to the Chastain Park area where he sexually assaulted her. Shortly thereafter, he kicked her out of the vehicle.
So she wasn't the one who actually called the Uber for herself? Because normally, like, if you were to call it on your phone, you could look and see, but if her friends called it for her,
Right.
she wouldn't have the frame of reference to look down at her phone to know who or what she's looking for, in theory.
In theory, yes. All right, we're going to wrap it up.
Thank you.